This is the District of Columbia Radio Control Club. We are now filming at Walt Good Field, which is at 16200 Schaefer Road in Boyds, Maryland, which is really near Germantown. And we have facilities for fixed-wing aircraft and for rotary-wing aircraft, such as helicopters and quadcopters. We have solar-powered charging capabilities. And so that's just a little bit on the club. We actually have a paved runway. The whole area is paved. We have shelters, and we follow the Academy of Model Aeronautics recommendations for the field. So the whole field is laid out with certain distances between things, certain boundaries for flying. So we put together a flight school where the District of Columbia Radio Control Club supplies all of the aircraft, all the equipment, the fuels, batteries, everything that is required. All students need to do is join the Academy of Model Aeronautics, the District of Columbia Radio Control Club, and come out and sign up for training. Once we get the person in training to be able to control the aircraft pretty safely, once an instructor takes the aircraft up to a safe altitude, we use a multi-control system, so the instructor can then press a button, and then the student is in control of the aircraft, and the instructor talks them through flying. And once they can fly in a strict pattern, which is almost like a racetrack type pattern in the sky, so that all the airplanes are going the same direction and not against each other and having collisions, and handle some things like when an aircraft would stall and fall out of the sky, how to handle it and bring it back safely, and standard safety procedures for flying remote piloted vehicles, which is at a facility like this. It is not over people. We have boundaries, marked boundaries and things out here, and we teach people how to fly within those boundaries. All of this is performed in the DCRC flight school. And once somebody is proficient to the point where they can control the aircraft and come straight up and down the runway, no matter which way the wind is blowing, and start getting a little lower and lower, then they bring their own aircraft. We give them recommendations on which aircraft to buy. They bring it, and we check it out. We fly it first, make sure it flies very easily, things like that, and then the student begins to fly their own aircraft with an instructor's help until they get lower and lower until they can land, and they start taking off and landing. They do a lot of practicing there. They know all the safety procedures for on the ground to keep propellers from hitting people, and to make sure that the aircraft is responding correctly to the controls before they take off in the air, things along those lines. Then we actually run a pilot proficiency examination, and they demonstrate that they are a proficient pilot with that particular aircraft that they've been practicing to fly with, and they know all the safety procedures and how to fly around other people and be safe. And then we sign them off, and they actually get a pilot certificate, just like full-sized aircraft get. And then they are able to come here, open the gates, and fly on their own. This hobby is very good for the intellectually curious. You are constantly solving problems. You're also developing skills. So there's no real age limit, in other words. But our flight school program, our general age requirement is about 10 years old. We have some students that are younger. We have students that are autistic. We have other students with disabilities, deaf, and things along those lines. And we have been able to overcome all of those sort of obstacles, and those kids are able to do the engineering, do the flying, do the problem solving. It's very good for everybody. The main thing is when you're with an instructor, you know your left from right instantly. So we would invite you to come out. You can go to the DCRC website, dc-rc.org, and posted right on the front page will tell you when the next flight school is. And feel free to come out and just see what it's like. Watch us fly, and you might get to see a crash, which is always fun. So come on out and see it. You may really enjoy it.